Hi everybody, it's Sally here. At my LK150 knitting machine today, and one of the things that has always slightly irked me about this machine is the fact that you can't do the quick Ravel cooled cast on for a tension swatch or just a piece of practice knitting because it hasn't got sinker posts. Well, I think I've come up with a way of doing it. So I'm going to show you. I've experimented with this on a few needles, lots of needles and what have you, and it's worked every single time. So fingers crossed, because you know what it's like when you go to do a proper demo, all of a sudden it all goes a bit Pete-tong. But this is my Ravel cooled cast on for the LK150. Oh, I'm so pleased with this, I can't tell you. So I'm going to pull out, as I always do for this type of cast on, the required amount of needles out to D position. My side levers are back on triangle here, and the Russell levers are on 2 on both sides. I'm going to use this green baby cashmerino stuff, which is a bit of a thin thin double knitting. So I'm going to set my stitch size to 3 and show you my quick cast on method. So as I often do, is I put a loop in the end of the yarn and hook it round a clamp so I've got both my hands free, feed the yarn into the feeder and run it across. Now of course the purpose with the Ravel cooled cast on is that you are holding those open loops in place so that on the second pass of the carriage the machine has got the machine can knit into those open loops on there without them all just coming undone and untangled. So the Ravel cord across the sinker post holds those on the needles. Well, the reason I came up with this idea is I thought, well, you can't do around the sinker post cast off on these machines. It doesn't have one. So what do? You use the neighbouring needle. And I suddenly thought, ooh, light bulb moment. I'll pull out the neighbouring needle at either end to D position, put the Russell levers back to 1 so they won't knit these. I mean, it does make a loop on the end, but that doesn't really matter because this is just, you know, a rough edge anyway. It's not going to be used for anything other than a tension piece, a bit of scrap knitting, or as the basis for an open edge hem that you're going to get rid of later. And then I'm just going to wrap the Ravel cord around those 2 needles that are sitting out at the edge here and knit. Just make sure the end one is knitting off. And as with any form of Ravel cooled cast on, after about 4 rows or so, you just take the needle away, the Ravel cord away, put those 2 anchoring needles back out of work, and hey presto, after a few rows you've got enough there to hook on a couple of claw weights and there you have it. As you say, or as Captain Jack Sparrow would have it, Bob's your uncle and Fanny's your aunt. Ravel cooled cast on. Oh, I am so pleased with this. Ta-da!